Turned in the alley, and what did I see? A big black bear staring back at me. We are actually on National Forest land. This is part of Carson National Forest. We are in the Cuesta Ranger District. The Fork Creeks come off of Wheeler Peak Wilderness area. They meet right here down at the end of the road. Then it runs 23 miles into the Rio Grande.
There are places in and around the headwaters of the Red River where anglers can catch a grand slam of New Mexico's trout, cutthroats, rainbows, brook trout, and browns. Other streams are managed to keep the species separated, and the Sport Fish Restoration Program of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service pays for 75% of all the fisheries management work. Today, Jeff guides New Mexico rancher Crockett Kimball, who relishes good pointers on catching the wild and stocked rainbows at the headwaters.
We have two main types of fish right here in this particular water. We have our brookie trout and we have the rainbow trout. The brookie trout are going to be the first ones that are going to come to the top. And so we're going to use we're going to start out with a little bit of a, once again, a trico or a blue wing olive, something pretty small, 16, 18, hard to see. And if that doesn't work, we're going to drop down into the water to try to get some of the rainbow, and we'll just be using our basic woolly bugger and maybe a hopper dropper situation. I tell people that sometimes you got to think like a trout, but just remember they have a brain the size of a pea, and sometimes they're not thinking about anything at all. So don't think about it too much. These are actually old beaver dams. This particular one is the beavers have moved off of it maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and they've started a new dam up the road about a half a mile or so. But this is an old one. It has the remnants of the old dam and the old hut. And what happens here is the current coming down hits the old dam and does 2 or 3 different eddy situations on each side of it, so the water's swirling. Fish are always, trout in particular, are always facing upstream in moving water. However, if they're in an eddy situation, they might be facing downstream. Not too much mending involved. It's just a matter of laying a fly out in front of them, getting the right fly in front of the right fish, right on top of that. Now be careful if we get right on that log, because if your fly sinks a little bit, it will get hung up on that log. Oh, there they are right there. Okay. Get away now. Trout have a protective slime on their body, and if you grab one with a dry hand, you're taking that slime off of the body and making him vulnerable to infections. So what we want to do is get our hands wet first. And I'm just going to kind of hold him up like this. This is a stalked rainbow. Oh, there he goes. Sorry about that. But good job, buddy.
Thanks.
Good job. That's the way it's done, Mr. Crockett. Okay, don't pull in too much more. Let's just kind of let him. This is a pretty nice one here, and we'll just kind of let him wear himself out. Another rainbow. He doesn't like me, that's for sure. Give him just a second here. Keep that tension tight, Crockett, and we got this guy. Now, this is a perfect opportunity to show you a wild trout.
Stuck in the...
Yeah, we'll come back for you later. This is a wild trout. You can see how dark the back of it is, and how his lateral line there is much more vibrant than the other one.
Jeff says most times when he's out fly fishing, it's just natural to hear music in the water and the wind, and it just goes to his head.
I've written many a song sitting out here on the river, and it seems like whenever I write a song, there always has some sort of water involved in it. It wasn't always that way. I actually did spend most of my childhood here in the mountains and fishing, and at one time in my life I got away from it, and I was trying to be a rock star. I was traveling across the United States and what have you, and when I finally had enough of that, I moved back to Red River, and I found a fly rod in the closet. I went out and I fished every day until I found that rhythm, and it literally put the rhythm back in my life, and it in many ways fly fishing saved my life. Come here, buddy. Come here, you and I be friends. Let's get better acquainted here. There we go. We work hard at at what we do, but it's such a pleasure to be out here and to fish. And a good fishing day is like a good song. There's a beginning and end, a bridge you have to go across. We find our rhythm. We've had a good song today.
Yeah,
And
once you find that rhythm, it's on.
yeah, once you find the rhythm, you're good to go. She did the black bear boogie, the black bear boogie. She did the black bear boogie. She did the black bear boogie. We're going dumpster dance, party all night long. Let's boogie.
Thanks, Jeff.
You're
Learning
welcome,
a lot
man.
so
You're the
far,
best
man.
client I've had all week, man.
This is
Just
awesome. Getting into this.
Keep
real
it
good.
going. Keep it going.
For Jeff, music and fly fishing are a natural pair. And you might even say, a splashing trout in the river on the end of his line is music to his ears.
This is even better than a hummingbird. Peter did the black bear boogie.